Hi everyone, this is Rev Kimberly here in my house, in my living room, wearing my Star Wars t-shirt. For those of you who may never have been in my office, I am quite a little bit of a Star Wars fan. And there's a lot that they have to say, isn't there, like in Star Wars about just living life. I am here to tell you about tomorrow morning service. We are going to try this again. We're going to try Facebook Live. This time I'm going to keep the camera like this and not that, just so you know. Sorry if that made you, some of you dizzy. I'm sorry about that. We're doing it both live, and we have another camera to do our Zoom call. If you're interested in Zoom, just send me a message. I don't know how it's going to work out exactly, but we're probably going to have two different services in the future, one for Facebook Live and one for Zoom. I also wanted to let you know there's a whole bunch of AA meetings online for Fort Collins and Loveland area. You can go to www.fortcollinsaa.com and find that list. If you know people who are in recovery who are maybe a little bit anxious about doing these online meetings, they can contact us here. I have a whole bunch of people that are willing to help people navigate either conference call meetings or online meetings. That's for AA or NA as well, or any 12-step program really. So please let us know. I wanted to let you know that we had a parishioner die. She was a parishioner from like a year ago. She had been close to a lot of us. And if you're looking for that information, please message me, because I don't want to give out that information without permission from the family. But she sang in our choir, and she spent a lot of time with us for about a year, and she died from cancer. So we can pray for her family. And also a good friend of the community I belong to, another community, is in the hospital with COVID-19 and a collapsed lung. So we ask that you lift him up in your prayers, and all people who are suffering right now from this disease, and the doctors and nurses and CNAs and people who work in housekeeping and people who work in security, all those essential workers at hospitals and healthcare centers. We ask that you keep them in your prayers, and as well as our those. Oh, this is, you know what? I don't ever have a script or practice this, so I wasn't planning on this, but all those who are essential workers in our communities, you know, those who have to work in grocery stores and deliver food and clean, those in sanitation, and our first responders. So please keep them all in our prayers. And if you have a prayer that you'd like us to lift up tomorrow in our worship service, you can type that in here if you have another post about that. And you can also message us if you can do that before tomorrow morning. That'd be great. But we are constantly trying to do this online business and see how we can include everybody's thoughts and prayers, since it's different than it was before. And that might be a good thing, right? It's good to have change. And maybe we're learning how important we should all be, we are all to each other, and how this is kind of becoming an altruistic thing, right? We have to, some of us, some people are not afraid of catching it themselves, but they probably should be. You know, I'm more afraid of giving it to someone, but I am not afraid of catching it and not concerned about this. We have to do our part, right, to not spread this, and that means making a lot of changes. And so anyway, I'm thinking of you all with that. But now the real reason why I started doing this, let's get to the point, Kimberly, get to the point, is that I found this reading in my daily reader for contemplative living. I don't know. I know, like, I hardly seem like the contemplative type because I'm so loud and such an extrovert, and it's really hard for me to sit still. But I kind of am in my own way, and I'm sure some of you are too, right? You don't have to be completely quiet all the time, and but there is something about being still and allowing, kind of like finding God in the stillness. God's everywhere anyway, but something kind of special. So, and also, there happens to be someone really still next to me, and his name is Stanley Kubrick. He is our cat, and I thought that I would read this and have the camera on Stanley Kubrick. So let's give this a try, shall we? If you have a chance to sort of settle yourself a little bit before we do this reading, that'd be awesome. And give that a try. So here we go. Let's see. Can you see him? There he is. He's just a little bit zen right now. And here's the reading. A strengthening and affirming experience. 34. Jesus the Christ heals you. Interior silence is one of the most strengthening and affirming of human experiences. There is nothing more affirming, in fact, than the experience of God's presence that Revelation says, as nothing else can, you are a good person. I created you and I love you. Divine love brings us into being in the fullest sense of the word. It heals the negative feelings we have about ourselves. And a quote from Acts 3:19, times of refreshing come from the presence of the Lord. And there you go. So may you rest like my cat here, who is not worried about anything. And I hope that your day is bright and beautiful and you're able to find some peace and love. Mwah! Goodbye. Much love to each of you. Oh, hi, Lindsay. Bye.